Hey folks, Vivian McGuire here, talking to you from my wonderful backyard. One of the things I want to talk to you about was Techsmith, right? Camtasia. How do you make some videos that are going to be engaging, still get your point across, but don't necessarily have to break the bank? So we talked about earlier that Techsmith is offering free services for now for faculty and businesses, as well as Adobe. So biggest thing I can always tell people is a lot of people focus way too much on that they're professional, that they're these wonderful high quality videos, and right now in the time you just need to get your point across. That's the biggest thing that I can see. So what you guys are actually doing with me is you're gonna be joining my chicken coop. Sorry, we gotta get eggs. Yep, as you can see, we've got one chicken laying. However, one of the things I wanted to tell you about is Camtasia is a really cool way to get the information out that you need. Whether it is through being able to point out things, screen grab, even edit video on a very easy need. One of the cool things about it is let's say that you have something in the video or you're trying to show somebody something, right? So for example, if I'm gonna point to this chicken over there, do you see it? See which chicken I'm talking about? No, you don't, but you will hear in just a second. I'm going to point to the chicken. Now, you've seen that I've pointed to the chicken, and those are things that Camtasia and Techsmith, who is the maker of Camtasia, can do, right? So we'll be able to do all of these fun things without breaking the bank. Again, it doesn't have to be super, super heavy. Doesn't have to be 100% professional. Biggest keys are going to be is that you have the content in there that needs to be in there, as well as that you are able to provide closed captioning. We'll talk a little bit more about closed captioning here in just a second.
Closed captioning. Okay, so I'm back in my office and we're going to talk about closed captioning as far as how it impacts the videos that you create. Wonderful thing is that YouTube, very easy format for you guys to use. It's free. So I would definitely recommend that. And the nice thing about Camtasia is that it exports out to YouTube. Now, one of the things you don't want to necessarily do is just export it out to YouTube and let YouTube do its own closed captioning. The reason for that is because you will often sound like one of my esteemed colleagues, Dr. Don, who is teaching about sex. I can't tell you how many times I have said, hold on a sec, and it ends up saying sex, or if I'm saying a word, it will throw in something crazy that's sexual related, or just totally change my words into something it isn't. So that's why closed captioning is important. One of the cool things is that it will actually take what you have on screen and then do the closed captioning for it. So for example, if you've got captions, these have already been populated, but what's nice is when you're working on something, you can literally take what you have, click on it, and then tell it speech to text. One of the recommendations I have, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, is to make sure that whatever computer you're using, that you have set up the speech to text feature. So that way it gets to know your dialect, how you sound. It works well with your mic. Certain mics are louder, some are lower, whatever it is, but that's the big thing about closed captioning. When it does that, double check, just kind of go through and make sure that it says actually what you're saying. And that way people such as myself who do have hearing impairments, or because maybe the video quality isn't quite great, can at least read what you're saying. For business owners, closed captioning is huge when it comes to search engine ranking. Closed captions are ranked totally different than your regular text that's on a page. If you just throw up a video, it's a video file. Usually those video files are like M76598, right? How does it know what that even means? So when we're dealing with search engine optimization, having those closed captions will actually grab those words differently from search engines. The other cool thing about it is YouTube itself is a huge search engine. People always think about Google. Well, YouTube is used just as widely to see how-tos, what is, examples, things like that. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about Techsmith for either instructional use or for business use. Talk to you guys more about a lot of this other stuff a little bit later.